Well, well, well. Well, well, well. Well, well, well. It isn't my good old buddy YouTube and my good old buddies on YouTube. British. Jason. Hey, Jason. What's up, man? Buckeye. Who is Buck? Who is Buckeye? You know, I can't place. I can't. It's sunglasses. I'm seeing sunglasses. I'm seeing a fishing pole. Oh, Buckeye. My good old friend Buckeye. I'm just kidding, just tizzing. Got me a big old cup of coffee here. I'm hanging out on the back porch. Donita, I do know Buckeye. I love Buckeye. Blessed Sunday, yes. So guys, how's everybody doing? It has been literally months, months, months. It has been months. Can everybody hear me okay? Hey, hologram. What an awesome person. You guys go say hi to hologram. We had a good conversation the other day. What an amazing person. Truly a terrific person. How you been doing, Jason? Hey, Sonia, how you doing? Hey, Grammy, Pamela. Yes, we can hear you, bro. Good deal. Okay, Buckeye will be on here in just a second. I'm sorry, guys, I don't have long today. I was going to go live at 12. Me and Buckeye was. We've been talking about this all week. But I bumped it up an hour because my wife has a friend she wants to go visit. She hadn't seen in a long time. So I'm going to go do that with her. Man, let's just catch up, guys. Cody. What's up, Coyote? Man, you know, you don't realize how much you miss the friendships and the connections and the Sundays. You don't realize how much you miss that till I'm back on here now. All of a sudden I just got this warm feeling. All the people, man. Thank you guys for hanging out and being here. And I apologize. I'll go ahead and I'll say this before Buckeye comes on. I apologize for just ghosting everything and everybody for the last like 4 months. Oh, it's been quite a 4 months. It's been quite a busy time for me. I've been super sick for 2 or 3 times during those 4 months. I don't know if I had COVID, but I couldn't smell, I couldn't taste nothing for like 3 weeks. And I had to I never go to the doctor unless I'm on my deathbed. And I went to the doctor and they gave me like antibiotics and steroids and all kinds of stuff. So, steroids. So, I've been sick on and off. I have been busy with personal personal stuff, projects. No need to apologize. Hey, I miss you guys too. I miss y'all too, man. You get so involved in your own personal life and your own personal stuff. I'll be praying for you. I'm better now. That was probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, so I'm better now. But it just seems like I usually don't get sick, man. But it seems like over this past couple of years, it seems like I just get a cold real easy. Weird. I don't know. Is Cassie and Captain Kurt on here? I don't know. Sometimes they jump in the chat, Donita. I don't know. Um, it's been a while since we've been on, man. Me and Buckeye was doing this every Sunday for a while, and I just got so let me okay. So I'm gonna be transparent with you guys. I'm gonna be super honest. Me and Buckeye we're gonna talk about a lot this morning. But I just wanted to say that a lot has happened. Personal stuff in my personal life, and music stuff, and spiritual stuff, and drama stuff on here. You know, with all that's going on, with all the diss tracks and all of the people being upset with each other, and there's just a lot going on. You know what I mean? And so I jumped off for a few months, and I've only posted 2, 3, 4 times. Good news, great news, hologram. We'll talk later. I can't say nothing yet, but we'll talk later. I want to talk to you. Reach out to me maybe later tonight on Instagram or something. Praying for Kurt and family. What's going on with Kurt? What is something going on? Yeah, absolutely. Pray for Kurt. Pray for everybody. Pray for the friends. Pray for the ops. Pray for the enemies. Pray for the everybody. What's going on with Kurt? Is everything okay? Yeah, what's up, Nubs? Revenge? I haven't seen you in a while. Yes, so that's what I'm getting to real quick. I'm gonna talk about why I haven't been on here for a while, and then I'm gonna bring Buckeye on here, and we're gonna love on you guys, and we're gonna talk, and we're gonna catch up. Put some stuff in the comments. What you been up to the last 4 months? Doing praying. Oh, that's so funny. I did message church a couple months ago or something, and I said, dude, you can create a whole slogan and like a whole section of like new clothes and shirts and slogans and brands. I said, it's so funny how you can just come up with something goofy and create. And because I messaged him and I was like, doing countryism. And he just laughed, man. He laughed and he replied. He's like, yep. He just, LOL. Doing praying. That's funny, man. You bet. I've been doing praying. I got a lot of stuff in my life, man, that has been good. It's been really good lately. And I can't talk about it. But around Christmas time, I got some huge news as far as music goes. And it's just been like one of those things where the wheel is rolling and progressing. And so at some point, you know, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to share some stuff, but I have something really important coming up. So I've been focusing on that. That's been a whole project, man. I've been in my shed for countless hours and just focusing on music stuff, right? So that's been one reason why I haven't been on here in 4 months. Another reason why is because, you know, I woke up one day and I remember being, you know, just looking at everything that's going on with the genre, country rap genre, and who's upset with who, and you know, a lot of this stuff that's going on, and I just remember thinking, you know, this doesn't really involve me. A lot of this, you know what I'm saying, and I didn't want to involve myself in other people's personal stuff, and so I'm gonna let them work it out, you know. And so I just remember getting online and you know, being involved in things that is taking my time, or wanting to post videos about things it's not going to be positive and spread a positive light. And so I just kind of just, you know, I just backed off of it, and I just wanted to be in the moment in my personal life and do me and do what I was doing. And I didn't want to discuss what's going on with this person or this person or this person. And I have no problem with people who do. I just wanted to back off and just focus on what I was doing and the music stuff. Can't really say nothing yet, but y'all stay tuned. Something totally unexpected's happened, and it's super exciting and amazing. I'll say this to sum it up. I've been just focusing on stuff in my life lately, and I apologize because I haven't really got to talk to you guys and keep in touch, man. And I miss all y'all. And I'll say this: spiritually, I'm probably in the best place I've ever been in my life, and I think that last year was really hard for me and my family and me and my wife and you know in every way possible financially and it was a rebuild year. Last year was a total rebuild year, and I started really digging in deep and really getting deep, and I got shaken to my core, and I really started examining myself and like working on myself and going to therapy and like doing stuff that an old country boy was pretty much told and raised like that's stupid, that's for sissies, and that's all this stuff. So I've been working on myself, going to men's groups, praying with people, messaging people who are having a harder time than me, and walking with people. Um, Over the past 4 months, I've really been working on myself, and last year too. And I feel like I didn't do it for this reason, but I feel like God is seeing that I've actually been trying to put him first, and I've really been trying to walk out what I talk, and I've really been trying to get to the meat and potatoes of my problems and work it out with my family and my wife and my financial situation. I'm trying to be a better husband, and I'm trying to be a better person, and I really think um, that God has started to, through a series of events that I can't tell anybody yet, God has really started to bless me. And and it's nothing, not like Buckeye said, so proud of you. Thank you, Buckeye. And I know what you mean by that. And it's not me. Um, I guess it is me trying to cling to God, but I think it's not nothing I'm doing. What it is he, through the hard times, he has brought me to him, to reach to him, for me to not forget who I cling to, right? I don't cling to the YouTube stuff and the views and if I post this video about who's mad at who, I'm gonna get 100,000 views. I got some dirt on so and so. If I post this video, then I'm gonna get make $100. Yes, it's my faith, right? And so trying and doing are two different results. Yeah, yeah. So I think it's very important to realize that I just wanted to jump off for a while to focus on the new developments, the projects I'm working on, plus just to get out of the stuff that was going on. I just wanted to be away from it. And I'm not pointing a finger at somebody, and I'm not saying anybody's wrong. I'm just saying that it didn't involve me, so I just I just backed out. I just focused on myself. And in doing so, I haven't been going live on Sundays, which I do regret. No regrets. I do regret that because I have missed you guys, man. Spiritual growth is more powerful. Hey, there it is. We talked about that yesterday. Me and Buckeye, man. Every time I get on the phone with that guy, I cannot get off the phone with him for under an hour. And even though I'm like, oh man, I'm tired or I'm busy, I never regret it because every time I talk to him, something good always comes out of the conversation. We was talking about yesterday, spiritual growth is more powerful than YouTube growth. Right, 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 right. That's absolutely right. And what is that old Bible verse? You can profit the whole world, but lose your soul. What does it do? What does it do a man good to profit the whole world, but lose his own soul? So I've just been out for months, soul searching and working on an upcoming opportunity that I've been blessed with. So, and it's very big for me. Um, that being said, I totally get it when somebody has a problem with somebody and they need to hash it out and they need to do that and all that. Whatever, that's everybody accounts for their own self. But for me, I just wanted to pull away and not get into the going live podcast about what's going on with who and who's doing drugs or who's upset with who or whatever. I had other things I need to do and I knew that. And man, it felt really good because I have ADD. I don't know if you know, got diagnosed. I got the ads, right? Be careful saying that. Ads. I got ADD apparently. And so it was really nice for me to be able to recognize for once and focus and pull back and focus my efforts on something else. That was really nice for me to do because I'm not good at that. But I have missed every single one of you dudes and dudettes, and I think about y'all all the time. And Katie, Miss Katie, Katie Duffy, right there. She is such a blessing, and man, all you guys are. But she is such a blessing. I don't shout her out enough. She'll every now and then she'll just message me. She'll say, and she'll usually message my Facebook. I think she has me on Facebook or Instagram. I can't remember. But she'll message me and she'll say, "Hey, haven't seen you in a while. Just checking in on you, making sure you're doing okay." And man, it just brightens my day, man. It absolutely brightens my day because just somebody who's just thinking about you and they're checking on you. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. Um, and I'm sorry, man. I am sorry. I have a pattern of ghosting and internalizing and doing my, just like kind of ghosting everybody. And it's not just on here. It's not just on here. Sometimes I don't answer. My cousin called me 5 times last week. I didn't answer, and I just got sidetracked and I got busy and I forgot to call him back. And so sometimes I just have that hermit mentality where I just pull back and I'm sorry that and I missed this greatly. Buckeye, you ready to come on, big dog? Let's talk, man. Let's talk. Be a light. Hey, you know, I wish that I could just take you guys with me to the men's groups. Um, that has changed my life. I can't really talk about what goes on in there because some of it's confidential. People who they're struggling, they're dealing with and stuff. But we've had people who they've been struggling with depression and stuff, and you know, suicidal thoughts. They've lost a lot of loved ones recently, and the last time I went last Monday, we just had a good old prayer session, man. And we just laid hands on this guy, and man, you could just tell like he just had a heaviness about him, and he just seemed changed whenever he left. And to do something like that is worth so much more than anything on the internet. All right, buddy, you ready? Y'all ready for the buck? Give it up! Give it up for the Buckeye!
My brother. Oh
Bum.
my goodness. So good
I
to
played
see
your
you.
intro music. I'm not as good as Ords, but I played your.
Yeah. So good to be here and just listening to you and you take the words right out of my mouth.
Hold on, sir. Excuse me. What is your name again? I can't.
Buckeye
It,
Preacher.
it is good to see you, man.
Oh,
I'm
so good
sorry.
to see you. And I agree with you so much. I mean, um, it really is amazing, how we, started out as friends and just become brothers. And just knowing what we've been through together over the last year, you know, um,
Yes, yes.
in our own personal lives, and just trying to gain that spiritual growth. And I agree with you so much. We backed off away from a lot of the nonsense and the he said, she said stuff and
What's
the
up, nephew?
drama. So good to see y'all in here, for real. You guys mean a lot to us. you know.
The
Um,
chat's going wild. Hey, Buckeye, looking good, Buckeye.
hey, hey,
Chat's going
I
wild.
might have to jump out because I'm fishing, and
There you go. If you catch something, hey, don't. Hey, we'll wait.
yeah, I've already caught one, so yeah,
Yeah.
it
Well, Buckeye,
was last morning.
I owe you a personal apology as well.
No, you don't.
I'm gonna do it in front of everybody, but I apologize because sometimes it seems like, and I hope you haven't taken it personal. Sometimes it seems like I'm cold or I don't want to talk to nobody or something, and I don't know. Sometimes that's just me. Just
Hey,
I
we
don't know,
share
man.
the same thing. I do the same thing, brother.
Yeah,
You know, you don't have to be someone's friend and brother and talk to them every day. You know, it's just praying for each other, catching up every once in a while, talking. And
right.
you know, I don't spend a lot of time on the phone with people, but when you're on there with, you know, trying to help each other, you know, trying to pray for one another, and we have done that. Um,
Absolutely.
you know, and it's kind of what I wanted to talk about, what you've already shared. You know,
Well, I just want to say real quick, publicly, guys. I've had a few people message me and I think message you, and they're like, "Are you mad at Buckeye? What's going on? What's wrong? And are are you mad at Up Church? Or are you mad at?" I'm not mad at anybody.
no, no,
I have
I,
just enjoyed the peace of not. Pardon. Well, I'm not going to say. I've enjoyed the peace of not giving a flip about every little all the stuff that's been going on. I've enjoyed so much working on my own projects because I have something coming up, and just being in my own peace. It's almost like a uh you know you're in a bubble of peace from the Lord, and that's what you're worried about, and everything around the world is going crazy, but you're in this bubble of peace and solitude. And at the same time, though, I have ignored, not on purpose and nothing personal, some of the awesome people in my life. Buckeye, you, I don't know, man. I mean, there's actually a few instances where I almost did some stupid stuff that you have advised me against. So
right,
it's not even just, oh, I like this fella. Like, no, you've actually guided me when I needed guidance, and you don't get that. That's rare. And I just wanted to tell you in front of everybody, nothing personal's going on. I love Buckeye to
right.
death.
Yeah, you know, sometimes when you go silent, people start jumping to conclusions, and they have
Yeah,
no idea that
yeah,
you are, like you said, in this you know, peaceful state of mind where you don't want anything to interfere with that. You
right.
know,
Bye, Cody. Cody said, "Good seeing you, Mister Buckeye. I got to run. Love and
oh,
respect for you guys both." So
good.
sorry.
Thank you for reading the chat. No, I appreciate that because I can't see it too good, and yeah, I appreciate every single one of them too. And you know, me and you both has gotten messages, you know, and you know, it's just praying for one another, building one another up. You know,
Right.
it is funny though that you mentioned that. And they said, "What'd you do? Get kicked off Coffee with Creekers?" I'm like, "No, no, we both." I mean, if you go and look at my YouTube, I haven't done
You're
anything on there
fired.
in 6 months. I mean, it's been 6 months because you know we're too busy. You know,
Yeah.
seeing your spiritual growth and your personal growth to me over the last year means more than any YouTube subscriber or views on a video. And you know, seeing your spiritual growth outgrow your YouTube, you
Right.
know, and seeing what's more important to you than this
Right.
stuff. You know, working out relationships with your family, with your wife. You know, you've shared those things, and I remember being there for you. You know, on the phone and praying for you through all of those things, and just being um,
Yes,
when you
sir.
go from being a friend to a brother. You know,
Yep.
I've got lots of friends, but there's some that I call brothers, and there's a difference. You know, um, when they enter into that circle that's as small as a dip can, you know, and that you really fully trust them, and
Right.
it's an amazing thing, and you know, and that's kind of what you know when me and you got to talking about doing this again. Um, I was meditating on it, and the Lord just you know You've hit me up before when I've been sitting on my back porch, and I said, "Man, the Lord has blessed me so much today. I don't want to even leave this porch." You know, because when you
Mhm.
find your peaceful spot, you don't want anything to interfere with it. It's just like being here. I was so glad that you got to be right here in this spot with me, and to see this and to feel the peace and the love and
I loved it. That was so much fun
oh
to go
yeah,
up there. I started getting addicted to fishing again, man.
yeah. We're doing it. We're going to have a get together here the first weekend in May.
Yeah,
Um, some people's going to come and pitch tents. We're going to fish. We can go back and shoot. Just have a good time, and that's what it's all about.
I
But
got to make some plans to come up there. Okay, real quick, Jason Hubbard said, "Man, I'll say this: my oldest son took off and ghosted me, and mom moved out at 16. Y'all, please pray for my son to stay
oh yeah,
safe, and for my mom and myself. We're trying to stay strong." Jason, we'll definitely pray for that man.
hey,
Uh,
I've already got your name written down in this book, Jason, and
good. Okay.
yeah,
He's the
well,
organized one. Buckeye's the organized one. My mind is like a bunch of spider webs. But Jason, man, I'm gonna definitely remember to say a prayer for you, man. I know I don't have kids, but I can't imagine, a kid not talking to you, you know, um, being upset with you or something. That's got to be terrible,
hey, the Lord can work out that relationship. I mean,
and he
I've
will.
had I've had that happen. With my daughter, and to see that none of my prayers have gone in vain for my daughter. To see her life turn around and change the way it has, it's it's been amazing. Seeing God work in her life and my
Yeah,
son-in-law, and
you
and,
said she's
and
going to church now, ain't you? Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
since then, I mean, as soon as you start trying to do something for the Lord, you're going to have everything attack you.
Oh yeah,
And it did with her. I mean, went through a bad situation. I remember, about it. I told you about it, and we've just prayed for each other. We prayed for each other's families. Your uncle that was going through a hard time, and to talk to you
yeah,
yesterday and said, "Hey, we were doing music together. That's why I didn't
yeah,
call you back." But
yeah. I've been trying to get us to get it to we're working on song together and stuff. And yesterday it was just me and him hanging out. And man, there ain't no greater joy. Have you ever been around somebody and they just love your company?
right,
You can just
yeah,
tell they love to be around you,
yeah, yeah,
And I said, you know what? Let's go record a song. Let's go work on it. So I brought him down here and we was working on a song, and he just loved that to death. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's just the best thing in the world. And you just don't know what kind of time you have with somebody.
right,
He was real bad off, about a year ago, but he's okay now. But we don't know. It might be next week. He might be bad, or it may be 10 years. We don't.
right.
And so I just realized that yesterday. I just said, you know what? I'm going to take this moment and I'm going to spend time with him, and I'm not going to run off and do my own thing. I'm going to spend some time with him. And so that's why I didn't get to call you back on time.
No,
But
no, it's good. And it just reminds me of it was a few weeks ago. Um, my son, after we both worked that day on a Friday night, and he came over to the house, and we was gonna maybe come over here and go fishing. I told him, I said, we can go inside, shoot some pool,
hey,
just be
Christina.
together, and
Right.
he said, Dad, right now you're the only one person I want to be around. He's
Oh
like,
man.
I've dealt with so much stupidity all week. You're the only one that I want to be around right now. And that meant so much to me to hear him say that. But it's like 2 weeks later, I was sitting there and his words hit me hard again, that that he enjoys being around you. We've always enjoyed that, those times together, and with my son. But I also enjoy that with my friends, ones that I call my brothers. And we just
It
uplift each
says
other.
something about you. It says something about you whenever your son is your best friend and he wants to hang out with you more than anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
Must be doing something right, because a lot of guys, they're too cool for their parents. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. And my daughters came around, and now I got three grandkids now because of my daughter's marriage, and I brought him here, and he's caught his first fish. My granddaughter's caught her first fish here,
Oh,
and
that's cool.
my other grandson, and
Sounds
it's
like a
just
country song.
it's just a peaceful spot, that the Lord has blessed me with, that I can come and enjoy my peace. But sometimes people want to interfere with that. They want to
Right.
come over sometimes while I'm fishing and want to talk about the drama that's going on in the club, and and this person and that person, and I'll sit and listen to them. But I'm the type of person that loves everyone here. You know, they know that I love them. I've showed them that I've loved them. I've told them that I've loved them. And I don't get in with people's personal business
Yeah.
with them not liking one another. And
Yeah.
you get that also on social media. Me and you both has experienced that. I've not always done everything that I thought was right on social media, but the Spirit has checked me, and I've
Mhm.
removed posts. I've said, I shouldn't have done that, and move on with your life,
Right.
and just don't
Well,
feed into that. We don't feed into it. And I'm so proud
right.
of you for doing that and seeing how you've grown in the Lord, and with relationships with your wife and your family. It has been amazing, and we've had, someone that's been in this chat. So many people has messaged us just talking about how the Lord has worked in their life, in their personal life, and their struggles, with not just people in their personal life, but people on the internet. I
Right.
said, man, just don't give into it. Don't pay it no attention, because people's going to let you down. Put your eyes on the Lord, because He'll never let you down.
Right.
And just trying to be that friend to them, and seeing one guy hit me up. I told you about it. And
Thank you, nephew. Nephew said two very wise creakers right here. Well, I don't
right.
know about that, but I
There's
appreciate it,
another
man.
one, nephew. Been praying for him, and
Mm.
he messaged me and said that he's a little sick today, so he's laying in bed, and he's always on our prayer list. Seeing
Oh yeah. Well, he's another one. He's another one that, like Katie, he'll reach out to me. He texted me about a month ago or so, and he said, "Hey, man, haven't heard from you in a while. Hope you're doing good. I'm praying for you," and that means the world to me. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And I
Oh
think
yeah, it
at
does.
that very
You know,
moment, I was having a bad day. And
right.
yeah, he's another one, man, who he means what he says, and he's always been good to me, man.
Yeah.
Just checking on people, man.
Just getting those
Hey,
messages,
Christy.
getting those I love to send out voice recordings, because some people can take the way you text the wrong way. So I like to
Yeah,
for them to hear my voice,
right.
and
I do too.
just the messages we have gotten, and we have sent to other people, and just, hey, thinking about you, hope you're doing well. We love you. We're praying for you and your wife, and I'll play those to my wife, and it means a lot to us. We've got one, you know, person that was a friend that become a sister. She's all the way she's in Australia.
Oh
I don't
wow.
know. She might be in here now. Wendy Shaw. She has
Hmm.
been such a blessing and a friend to me and my wife, and become a sister to us, and that means a lot. It really
Right.
does. You know, and it's when we got
And
caught up.
you can't replace people who lift you up in
Right.
spirit. You know what I'm saying? You can't. Um, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and just like we have distanced ourselves from things, I've had people that has messaged me and said, sorry, Buckeye, I haven't been on here. I'm sick of this drama stuff. I'm trying to stay away from it, and
Pamela Stoy. I'm
that's what I'm.
sorry.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's what I'm talking about. That's what
Pamela
you do.
Stoy says your voice messages have been very special to me. It lifts me up. It lifts up my day so much. Well, there you go. That's wonderful, man.
Yeah, your messages mean a lot to me, and that's what I'm saying. When a friend becomes a sister, a brother, you
Mhm.
know, um, it's
Well,
a
man,
verse of scripture, and
I just want to
Proverbs.
touch on something, man.
Yeah, go ahead,
Uh,
brother, and I'll read this.
yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I haven't interrupted you.
No,
We ain't done this in a while, man. We ain't done.
right.
I
Go
want to
ahead.
touch on something real quick, and it's just the way I feel about it. The legacy I want to leave. on my YouTube page is one of, good music, good friendship, good fellowship, talking about what really matters in life, the Lord and love and happiness and change and progression and spiritual things and helping people and praying for people. And, I understand it's hard because a lot of us we know these people and the musicians or the whatever, the music and all that stuff. We all love the music, but a lot of us, we know these people personally, and it's hard not to become emotionally involved and say, wait a
Right.
minute, you're talking about so and so. I'm not gonna stand for that. And then, fuel that and jump in and fuel that and say things and then spread hateful stuff or whatever.
Right. Right.
And I get that, right? Because we all have emotional attachments to, church or whoever it is we follow on here, and we keep up with their music and their lives and their stuff. But I just didn't want to do something off an emotion,
Right. Exactly.
and jump in on podcasts and jump in on this, and then somebody to look back and to say, well, look at Southwind. He claims to be a Christian, but he's on here and he's talking about this person. He's talking about this person, or he's upset and he's cussing these people out or whatever it is.
Right. Right.
I didn't want to get into that, and there has been some videos that I've put up and I've taken down, and it
Right.
wasn't because I was fueling a fire that I felt like I was doing it, but maybe somebody else thought I would or didn't look good or whatever, and so it wasn't my business anyway. So I just took it down, and so I've really been trying to cultivate who I am, what I want to portray, what I want to put out, because this is your channel. Everybody in the comments, this is your channel. You have your own channel. You have your own lives, you have your own feelings. You are the driver. The YouTube is the vehicle, and you're the driver of your own channel. You're responsible for what you put out.
Right.
I'm not saying it's a huge deal, but let's say one day, this will be this, and God has just been giving me these thoughts and just been making me realize that I have over 15,000 subscribers. It's not to where, no, it's not huge. I'm not Billy Graham, but like, you know, he made me realize that, hey, what if I got to heaven one day and so, you know, was talking to God, and he said, depart from me, I never knew you. And he looked at me and he said, I saw Southwind tearing somebody up on the internet,
Right. Right.
which, God knows me as Drew, but, Southwind, I'm sure Southwind's in the name of the Lamb's Book of Life somewhere, hopefully. But sorry, sorry, ADD. So what if this guy looks at me and says, I saw Drew Southwind on there tearing somebody up. And I said, if that's what a Christian's like, I don't want to be one. What if that
Right.
happened? And then I would feel responsible, man. That's terrible. And so
Yeah.
I guess just trying to really be responsible for what I say and what I put out.
Right.
Um,
Yeah. Because I've made my mistakes. I never thought that because it's like my coworkers, me and some of my buddies, we'll cut up sometimes. And sometimes that's what friends do, and that's one of the things that I loved most about you when we did get together is we were just total cut ups. We laughed about things, but we never wanted to hurt anybody. You
no,
know, but
shoot, no.
when your character is attacked and you've been accused of things, and we've both been there. You know,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and made some mistakes. And we've talked about
yeah,
those things, and it's like
yeah, and
I'm just going to step away from all this stuff. I'm not posting these things. I'm
right.
not. And people want
Well,
to get so involved. If you're friends with this friend, I'm not going to like you, or if you
right,
support
right,
this
right.
person or this artist. To me, that's just all such nonsense because you don't want it to interrupt the peace that you have.
Right.
There's
Well, as I've
nothing
said
worse.
on here before, I don't testify to I'm doing the right thing or I'm doing good. I will mess up. I'm going to continue to mess up,
Yeah, we all are.
probably until the day I die. And if
Right.
I've hurt your feelings, or if I've said something, or if I've done something, and the damage is done, I'm gratefully sorry for that. However, all I can do is be sincerely sorry and
Right.
try to make it right to whoever was upset and move on. And if that person won't accept that, there's nothing I could do about it.
No, there's
Uh,
not. You know.
but believe me, in my heart, if I have wronged you, then I'm truly sorry.
Right.
I don't want any bad blood with anybody.
Well, that's the
I
difference
really don't.
when the Lord comes into your heart. He changes that about you, because before
Mhm.
you're like, who cares? What this person thinks, or walk around with a chip on your shoulder, just making everybody mad. And doing those things where that's where there's a difference. When the
Right.
Lord comes into your heart, and we've both, you know, I mean, who hasn't made mistakes on the internet or posted something? But the thing about it is, I like to share things. I've only had Instagram, I think, a couple years now, and I like to share inspirational things and stuff like that. Stuff that I like, I'll share it out like to my story or something. But it's not directed towards anybody, when you've
Right.
been accused of that, oh, Buckeye sending out subliminal messages about somebody, I start laughing. I was like, that had nothing to do.
Buckeye is upset with
Yeah,
Southwind. He's been putting diss tracks
or you
out because he kicked him
or
off
you
of Coffee
share
with
something
Cricket.
with your buddies that you think is funny, or
Nephew said
you know,
something. And that's exactly what you're talking about. Is one of the reasons why I was just like, dude, I'm going to focus on my music. I actually have something that's
right,
pretty crazy going to happen possibly, and I need to focus on this anyway. But at the same time, the drama stuff started rolling, and I was like, man, I just don't want to part of this. Um,
no, not at all.
you
I
know, not
dipped out from it.
it's not even like I think everybody's wrong or everybody's right or who's wrong or who's right. I just didn't really pay attention to none of it. I'm sure
Right,
somebody's right and they're justified in their reactions to being upset about things, but I just didn't want. It's not my bit. I've always been the kind of person. You know what I'm saying? Don't stir the pot if it ain't your business. Stay out of the Kool-Aid. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right,
Nephew,
exactly.
nephew said something really good. Nephew, Jamie, text me. We need to have a conversation, bro, on the phone. I've been wanting to tell you this. You're close to me. I'm close to you. Um, that was weird. It was like a song right there. Close to me, close to me. Sorry, I'm in a songwriting mood. Jamie, you need to reach out to me, man, or I'll reach out to you maybe later tonight or tomorrow. I need to tell you something, bro. It's gonna be a blessing in my life, I think, and you've been there for me, bro, and I want to talk to you. Jamie said, and that's where it goes back to scripture. Pick up your floor mats, dust off your feet, and move on to the next person. Yeah,
Right.
some people they don't want to forgive you. You know what I'm saying?
No, they want a
And and
reason to
and
hate you.
and
So
there's
some
not.
people, has disliked you all along. They just try to
Yeah,
find a reason to add fuel to that fire. You know,
yeah.
and
Well,
I know not everybody's going to like you, especially on the internet, because they don't really know you. But to spread things about people, and to do those mischievous things, create fake accounts, and going around stirring up all this stuff.
yeah,
You'll never see me there. You know,
yeah. That's I don't have no. Well, I even just aesthetically, I don't have enough time for that. I don't have. I
no,
mean, logistically, I don't have enough time. I work a full time job. I'm always busy doing music on the side, and then I'm, maybe doing something with the videos or the personal stuff with with dad and uncle, whatever. I
right,
just don't have enough time for it anyway. And anybody who does, dog, you could be making so much money getting you an extra job
right,
or a job or loving on your family or grilling out or starting your own business. Like, dude, who can do that?
right,
I
right.
don't.
Get out, and go outside, and go fishing. I mean,
I got one
go,
word. I got one word, man. I just why, 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 and how
exactly.
does certain people devote enough time to, I mean, dude, whenever certain feelings and emotions and words come out of my mouth and they're negative, sometimes they come out and they actually taste bad. I know it sounds stupid,
Right.
but they take. It's almost like as soon as I say them, I'm like, I shouldn't have said that. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Where'd that come from? That was in
Right.
my heart. That was in my heart somewhere. You know,
Yeah.
maybe that came from maybe I was upset, me and my wife, and I said something about somebody else. I was upset or something. You know, but whenever the words that come out of your mouth and your thoughts and everything, they provoke a chemical reaction, good or bad, whichever one you choose. And if you don't correct it and you just spew that nasty bad stuff, you know,
Right.
you're damaging yourself and you don't even realize it. And it took me a while to realize I've done it. I'm guilty, but um, you know, you ever, well, I mean, just think about it like this. And we've all been around people like this. You ever been around, and this is what a lot of it was to me, the podcast stuff that was going on. And I'm not trying to down anybody. I mean, everybody's, you know, that's how people get views. That's how people do this. And just to clarify, guys, I'm not talking about Ords, Coffee, Council Creekers, or whatever. Like, no, like I love Ords. I'm not talking about anybody
Right.
specifically. I'm just talking about all of the tracks, all the diss tracks, and all of the stuff bashing church and all the stuff bashing him, this person, all that stuff. Have you ever been around somebody who nothing's ever right, nothing's ever good? Uh,
Yeah. I
they're
mean,
going to get some gas. Oh God, man, the gas prices are too high. Then they go and they
right.
grab a drink. Oh man, this drink it tastes sour. It ain't right. And then they go and then they're driving down the road. Oh man, I'm out of cigarettes. Oh man, my wife calling me. I'm tired of this crap. You ever been around somebody like that all day long and they just do that? After a
Yeah.
while, it gets me irritated. I'm just like, I can't be around somebody who's negative constantly. And that's what I was getting
No.
a lot of it. Now, all of it wasn't negative. There were some good discussions going on, I'm sure. I didn't even see most of it. I saw some stuff every now and then. I'm sure all of it wasn't negative. I'm sure some people they had a boost on their YouTube channel from it, and that's wonderful. That's great. Now do something good with it. Stop here. Do something good with it. But I was getting a lot of negativity from it. I'll just be honest with you. All the stuff that was going on. And I didn't, I just, whenever the negative stuff starts rolling in, I've realized that's time for me to pull out and focus
Right.
on the things of the Lord, you know. Padge,
Absolutely.
Padge HB, good to see you, man. He said, good to see you two dudes. God bless you, skins.
Hey, God
Hey, good
bless
to see
you,
you. I was
all
taking
of
up
you.
money one time and he gave $50 for that little baby, Ileana. She's doing good, by the way. If anybody remembers that. That was my cousin's baby. She's doing good. She had a couple of trips back and forth to the hospital, and she's had some complications with her lungs and stuff, but she's hanging in there. She's hanging in there. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up on this, Buckeye.
No,
I
you're
apologize.
good. Go ahead. Like I
That's
said,
how
I
I've
can't wait.
been cussing recently. Stop cussing, nephew. I feel you. I got a I got a factory mouth. I call it the old factory mouth. I got a factory mouth too, and sometimes I'm real good at I've been better at it, but sometimes I'm real good. But man, that takes time, man. It does. It takes time. Christina said, "Same here." Weeds are choosing good versus good. Okay, sorry, I'm caught up, man. Um, ain't it good? Ain't it good to be? Ain't it a beautiful day? Is
Yeah, it is. It's
it raining up there? Or?
no. I mean, I looked at the forecast before I came over here. I always
Yeah,
look at that before I go fishing. So yeah, it's about 65 here, and
it's
yeah,
beautiful
it's
down here, man. We've had it's been flooding down here, like
oh
bad for
yeah, we've
the
gotten in. I thought I was going to have to start driving my boat to work. To be honest with you,
yeah.
that'd been kind of cool. I would have, threw some fishing poles out and
I was
trolled
about
all
to
day at
say,
work.
you wouldn't mind that too much, would you?
No.
Just throw a line out the window, you might catch a bird. Um, Dirty South Creeker said, "Good morning, my brothers."
Oh,
Hey,
good morning to
Dirty
you.
South. It's been a
Hey, I
while,
love you,
man.
brother. I appreciate your messages and stuff, brother. I really do.
Yeah,
Um,
he's a blessing. I
yeah,
don't answer back much, bro. Dirty South, but I called him one time. We talked on the phone and stuff, or on Instagram and stuff. He's a good
yeah,
dude, family
yeah.
man, good guy,
Yeah,
hard worker too.
yeah. We've been praying for him and his family. I know they've been going through some things. There's
His
so many
his
people
wife,
that,
right? His wife.
yeah, and
Yeah.
there's so many people that they're going through so much in their
Hmm.
own personal life, and everybody's worried about all this YouTube drama, you know. And like I said, I've got so many things going on myself that I even stopped to even pray for my brothers. You know, every morning I pray for all of y'all. Your names are written down in this book, and doesn't matter if you're here for me anymore. You know, that's fine, but I still love you. You know, I still pray for you anyway. You know, I'm not one of these people who are going to throw up some praying hands, and I actually do it. And me and you's talked about that, and we prayed for each other. You know, just to have somebody that I know that we knew, and he wouldn't be ashamed of saying it. You know, for him to call me up and tell me how the Lord has blessed his life, and he just felt like a weight had been lifted off his shoulders, and he don't
Mm,
care about none of this drama no more, none of this stuff. He's so much at peace. He don't want anything to affect it. And
yeah.
he said to me, Buckeye, before we got off the phone, he's like, "Can I pray for you and your wife and family?"
Oh,
And
you
I
talk about you told me about
oh,
that.
yeah,
Amazing.
and I started to pray with him, and I just stopped and listened and think, what a blessing, what a beautiful prayer, you know, to think and see how a year ago
Mm,
so many people's lives were different, and we've all been through so
yep.
much in the last year. You know, from the time that we met up in Nashville and got to hang out and got to meet each other for the first time, and it's like I said, it's when friends become brothers, you know. And it wasn't just meeting up there. We met up through messages, through phone calls, through prayer, you know. Like I said, it's when a friend becomes a brother, you know. And it's something you know, Proverbs 17:17 says, "A friend loveth at all times," you know. And it says, "And a brother is born from adversity." You started off as a friend and become a brother because you
Mm,
went through things together. You know, you called each other up. Hey, I need to talk to you. You got time this morning? And the phone calls that I've had with people, and I don't share those things with no one else but the Lord. I would never tell anybody people's personal problems. And that'd be, you know, stuff like that. I take them to the Lord, you know, and to watch their growth and to see how far that they've come in the last year. And a lot of them hasn't even been on the internet. It's
mhm.
personal growth in their own life. You
Donita
know, it's not.
said
Yeah, go ahead.
that was so much. That was so fun at Jaybirds. We need to do that again.
Who is that?
Donita, I don't. I don't recognize that.
I'll probably recognize the face, but
Yeah, yeah.
I'm terrible with
But I say it
names
had to be
sometimes.
somebody who y'all hung out with. Ain't that cool?
Yeah.
Ain't that awesome?
Oh man,
Never forget that.
that was such an experience, and
Yeah,
I was following, you know, Cardiac and Nate, and we were
yeah.
just stopping at Jaybirds for Dale to meet up with Nate, and whoever thought that that would turn out the way it was? I mean, there's so
She
many
said
people
from
stopping.
Missouri. From Missouri.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember. Yeah, and there was just so much going on. It was like, um, man, it was just such an organic thing for that to happen there at
It was
Jaybirds.
so Nashville was so much fun, man.
All it
It was
was,
so good. Yeah,
you
it was
know.
so good. So was
And
Cincinnati too, though. So was Cincinnati.
oh yeah, and I enjoyed, you know, all of it. But I think
Yeah.
one of the most fun times that I had all year was when we was at the Badlands. You know, we was back there, you know, getting muddy and dirty on the, you know, the trails and stuff, and you know, hanging out with your friends, your brothers, your sisters. You know, people that's become just genuine brothers and sisters to you. And we've helped each other along the way through this whole journey since we met each other. And that's what's amazing about it all. When
Hmm.
someone, and it was like a theme during, you know, the you know, up church's show. You came as friends and you left as family.
Yeah.
And man, I felt that way before I even heard that, you know. And I have some of y'all's become like just family to me. I mean, brothers, because we start off as friends and become brothers because we've been through things together. We'd been
Yep,
through
Christina
adversity.
was there. She said good times. She was in Nashville. Yep, I remember
Yeah,
her.
yeah, I remember coming out of O'Brien's and I heard someone holler for me. I looked over and it was so cool to meet her and Leah Hollergram and
Yeah,
you know uh,
what a what a
Kurt,
what a
Kurt and his wife and
what
little
an
Braylon.
amazing person.
Yeah,
She made me feel like a rock star, and I'm nobody. She came up to me
right,
and asked for my autograph, and I'm like, my
right.
autograph? Are you sure you sure you
Yeah,
got the right person?
we signed their shirts and stuff, and I
Yeah,
mean,
what a great person.
it was just
Uh,
yeah,
Donita
wonderful.
said Mexico, Missouri, and we made a video. My son has long red beard and good old boy boots.
Yeah, we called him. Oh goodness, Hillbilly Jesus. Yeah, I remember
Hillbilly
him.
Jesus. I
He's the
like
one that
that.
had the Dukes of Hazzard boots on. You know,
Yeah.
and we saw him. We was coming out of the municipal after the show was over, and ran into him outside again. And yeah, man, that was what memorable times, And you think about, from that experience to now, things that's transpired. You know, um, some people, you find out that they're not your friend, and others become your brothers. And it's those ones that you got to focus on. You can still pray for the other, you
Right.
know, but you know, anyway. And man, it just feels so good to be on here with you today, brother, and just knowing what you've been through, seeing how you've grown. I couldn't be so proud, and thankful to
You
have a
know,
friend
man,
and a brother like you in my life. It means so much to me.
I really appreciate that. And I don't take it lightly. I mean, here's the thing. When we started this whole journey, um, it's so funny how I started praying, which I was at a point in my life to where I was focusing on things that wasn't uh I guess not necessarily God's will, but like stuff that I thought I wanted. Um and so what's funny is like you said earlier, whenever you actually start doing what you need to be doing in life, the devil's going to attack you.
Oh
So when
yeah,
we started doing this, it was like it was like close to Thanksgiving, like a year and a half ago or something like that. And I remember praying, Lord, let me be the kind of person that I can make an impact and let me do this. And guess what?
right.
Those
You have,
prayers he be
yeah,
careful what you wish for, because
right,
to be that kind of person to where I needed to be where I was spiritually to continue to try to do stuff like this. Now, I'm not saying you can come as you are, he'll meet you where you are, but he's going to change you. If you pray for it, be careful. If you pray for patience, be careful. He's going to he ain't going to grant you patience like that. He's going to grant you situations that will make you patient. From my
right,
experience. So I prayed, let me have an impact and let me do things for you, God. And he said, okay, all right, bud. He said, well, we're going to start here. And then he started through a series of events. He cleaned up my marriage, cleaned me up as a husband. And I went through some rough times, man. And I had a few sleepless nights, man, where I really, I just my anxiety was kicking in. It was playing on me, and then my dad got hurt, and my uncle got hurt, almost passed away. It's just he said, "Okay." He's like, I'm gonna cultivate you, bud.
yeah,
And so he started working, and it was not, uh, it was not easy.
yeah.
It was not easy,
And
and
sometimes
yeah,
you'll be attacked through the people that you thought were friends,
and that
that
too. Yeah,
that you
that
thought
happened
that loved
too.
you,
That happened
and
too. That happened to
yeah,
you more than me, I guess. But
right,
man, I'm saying it's like, um, I guess if you don't know what's going on, you think that the world's raining down on you.
right,
But if you are reading your Bible enough and you're praying enough and you're in tune with things, then you understand that it is painful, and it's going to be rough. But afterwards, there's growth.
Right.
The
Yeah,
bad
that's true.
things, the bad things, they bring there are opportunities for growth.
Right.
I can't imagine going back and being the person that I was when we first started this. I don't even think
No.
like that. I don't even
No.
think like that person anymore.
No, me neither.
I
You
don't
know.
even think like that, man. And it's crazy. Well, it's crazy what God can do in a year, man.
Yeah.
If you will let him, it's crazy what he can do in a year.
Well, he can turn people's life around in an instant.
Hmm.
You know, I mean, in an instant. How many times have we seen that? And he's proven that. You know,
Well,
who
you
was
told me about the guy you were talking about earlier,
right?
and how he changed his life, said he was living in sin, and all of a sudden you talk to him on the phone, and you're like, you shared this beautiful moment with him, and you're like, man, this is a totally different. It's just totally
Yeah.
different,
Right.
and I don't know, man. It's
Well,
incredible.
it's just like right here where I'm at. I went inside, to get something to drink. I forgot my cooler at the house, and I had somebody, come up to me and he said, "Man, when you get a minute, I want to talk to you." And this guy's about 6'4". He goes and plays pool all the time, and really kept him up in business with his drinking and stuff. And I'm just telling this story. I'd never mentioned his name and or nothing like that, but
Hmm.
I went outside to talk with him, and man, hear this great big huge guy just started just broke and started telling me some things that was going on in his life. And man, I just put my hand on him and on his shoulder and just prayed for him, and he broke, and I feel kind of bad because he no longer comes over here and goes inside, shoots pool, and drinks. He's things have worked out in him and his wife's life and his family, his kids, and man, that's what it's all about. I'm nobody, but I know that the Lord can use us sometimes as vessels.
Right.
Whoever thought some guy with a cowboy hat on, long hair, camouflage, you know, um, would be able to do that. And it's
Talking about
nothing.
the guy that got kicked off coffee with crickers.
Yeah, but it's all good, man. People could think. Sometimes you just have to sit back and laugh about some of this stuff, because
Right.
you watch people follow you and because of what someone else has said and what someone else has tried to do,
Mm.
try to destroy your character, try to destroy, you know,
Jason said,
just. I mean, there's a difference between disliking something or
yeah,
somebody than trying to completely destroy them. And I could have done the same way. I could have retaliated. I could have, but why? I give it to the Lord, and He takes care of things for you. And
right.
now it's just a distant thought, because it's growth. It shows you who you are as a person,
Yeah.
and it shows your character when you can move on from that. When other people say, "I couldn't have done that, Buckeye," I'd have put them on full blast or this, that, or the other, and you give it to the Lord and watch Him. Man, there's nothing worth your peace. There's nothing worth that peace in your heart, that peace in your life,
Right. Right.
you know. And
Jason Hubbard said, "I'm getting there." Jason, um,
hey,
that
brother,
keep going, man. But here's what I want to say. Um, our idea of where we need to be and where God wants us to be is oftentimes different.
yeah,
Really, the most important part is that you say, God, show me where you want me to be and how to get me there, and then let Him, because He'll make stuff happen in your life, whether it's hard times or good times, or He'll bring in the realization of how you need to be in change. But yeah, as long as you are open and you follow His direction, He will do that. He will do the work. Um,
yeah, he will.
you don't have to, just go outside and meditate and just, I want to know what God wants me to do today. Do I need, He will, if you pray for it, He will make you aware. He will make it apparent to you. Now, be careful because a lot of times it's hard for us to, be like, I want this, God, or I want to do this, or I want to do this. And then it happens and you're like, whoa, this isn't what I was thinking.
Right.
And, and that's where like we can only do so much. If we let him take control though, um, that's the hard part because I want to control my own life. I want to control my own life. I want it to be like, hey, I'm gonna, I can do this certain thing to say and do this and to make my life better and to do this. I have the power to do that. Well, with some things, sure, but what has happened to me, the biggest opportunity in my life so far for something I've been wanting to do for 20 years, it had no control. I had no control over that. So oftentimes things come into our life that we have no control over, good or bad, but we think we have a lot of control, but we don't. Um, and that's, I think God lets stuff happen, bad or good, to make us realize we have a little amount of control, right? Now, you make good decisions with what you're given and stuff like that, but as far as what's happened for me recently in a good way, I could never have linked this up by myself. There's no way I could have ever done it by
Right.
myself. And I think
Right.
God does. I think God does that to make you realize, hey, I am in control.
Right.
Maybe He took somebody out of your life. Maybe you lost a loved one, and there's nothing you can do about it. In those moments, you realize how small you are, and you realize why you're not in control, and that you're not in control. So you need, ultimately, you need
Well,
God. You need it. Yeah.
you feed your. I like this, and I
Hey,
post
Miss
out to
Vicky.
my
Hey,
friends.
Wayne. What's up, bro? Sorry, Wayne's in here.
Hey, no, good. Happy you're in here, Wayne, and Miss Vicky, and all of you. Um, thank you so much. But it's something that I posted. It's you feed your faith so that your fears will starve to death. You
Yeah.
know, and
Sorry, Jason. I wasn't trying to grill you, man. I was just, I heard, I saw what you said, and I was just kind of playing off that. You're good, man. You're good. Sorry. Go ahead, Buckeye. I gotta get
no,
off of
yeah,
here pretty soon. Look, the wife
yeah, me
said,
too.
man. The wife's out
Howdy,
here.
honey, Miss Southwind. How you doing, sister?
Miss Southwind. I'm doing well. How are you, Buckeye?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful.
Good.
So good to see you, and I'm so proud of your husband to see
Why?
how far he's come and how he's grown. I might be more
Yeah.
proud of him than you are, huh?
Well,
From time to time, you ain't got to put up with my dirty clothes and my dirty dishes. And
this is all he lives, drinks, thinks, eats. So this is his true love right here. I'm second.
Oh no,
lies.
she and she dipped out too.
That's okay.
She dipped
This
out.
right here is my true love, right here.
Oh, yeah,
Timber.
we love our. We got a cat now. Actually, his birthday is this weekend, and I named him Buckeye. That's my cat's name. They couldn't figure out a name, so I named him. And
There you
so
go.
good to see you this morning. And it's so good to see how the Lord has blessed you both. And and it's what we've been talking about this morning. She's going to see a friend.
Right.
And there's nothing. There's nothing. Like I said, you can have. Gosh, you can have. I don't know how many subscribers, followers, friends, but if you got one friend, just one that truly loves you, prays for you, that is more valuable than anything. You know, it's just like I stopped in a convenience store on my way over here this morning, grabbed me something to drink and everything. And I seen this guy standing there, he had his quarter and man, he was just scratching away at these scratch off tickets,
Yeah.
give me some more mega millions, he's scratching away, and I'm
Right.
sitting there thinking, he scratched away just to try for what? For money, material things, when
Right.
I'm sitting there like, man, the Lord done scratched away the surface of me. And
Right.
man, that's more valuable to me, peace in your life. And I sitting there thinking, man, I'm already rich. You know, I'm already blessed this morning. I felt like I done hit the lottery.
Man,
you
that sounds like a good. That sounds like a song, man. You gonna let me write that?
Hey, there you go, brother. Hey, a
I'll give you some
lot of people
royalties.
don't know this
It's on
either, but
film, so
I've
it's on
written
film.
some lyrics, some songs for some friends, and let them use some of my thoughts. Never charged them a dime, man. I said that won't cost you nothing. There you go.
I'll buy you a new fishing pole if it makes a hit.
No, I tell you what, you just come fishing with me. You know.
I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to make time. Jessica, you're gonna come with me. We're gonna go fishing with Buckeye. You ready to leave?
Yeah.
She ready to go. She's about to beat me
All
up,
right,
man.
brother. Yeah. Oh,
But
it
yes,
was it
yes,
was a blessing seeing her this morning. Your cat, you, and
yep.
knowing
That's a rare occurrence. So
knowing what the Lord has done in your life. You know, um,
it's been a roller coaster that I wouldn't change for the world, though.
right, exactly.
Because you think back and you're like, well, if I changed the bad things, I wouldn't have learned from it.
That's true. That's so true. You know,
But all right,
now, and
go ahead.
calling her your lady instead of old lady.
Yeah,
You know,
Buckeye's
I've heard a lot of
responsible for
people
that.
doing that. I've and that's cool. It's cute. Whatever you want to work out with your better half, but I've never wanted mine to ever feel like she was old. You know, to me.
Buckeye's responsible for that. I used to call you my old lady, and he got on me one Sunday.
Yeah, he's always called me his old lady, and I remember one time on Facebook a few years ago, I didn't have to say anything. About 5 or 6 people lit him up.
Tore me up. Yes. But that's what we're talking about. Growth. Growth. I
Right.
learned. I learned. He learned me.
That's good.
All right. We got to head out and hang out with
All
some
right, brother.
friends. Guys, we're going to continue to do this as long as we're able. Sorry for the absence. I love you guys. Buckeye, what was that verse you said
It was
earlier?
it was Proverbs 17:17. A
Proverbs
friend lo-
17:17.
a friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born from adversity. When a friend becomes a brother. Yeah.
Keep that in mind. I got a story for y'all about how something wonderful has happened when it could have went really sour, and you just never know how things can work out if you act in the spirit and you don't act in the flesh. We got
Exactly.
a really good
There's a
story. We'll
difference.
start next week.
All right, brother. We'll do that. And I
I
love you
love you,
guys.
Buckeye. Hey guys, if you need anything, any prayer, message Buckeye, message me on Instagram. If you ever follow me on TikTok, I lost my TikTok. It got hacked. Really weird. So all good though. Holler at us anytime. Love you guys. Hologram nephew Pamela, Miss Vicky, Christina. Appreciate y'all.
Love
Um,
y'all for real. Every
Make
one
it a
of you.
good day, guys. Proverbs 17:17. Start the day off. Go and read it. Put your hands on it. Pray over it. Spread a little
Yes, sir.
sunshine.
And be that person to somebody. Be that friend.
Be
Be
that
that friend
friend.
that's there with somebody no matter what mistakes that they went through. You know, um,
Yeah.
be a
You
brother.
never know how you can change somebody's life with a few kind words.
Right,
And
exactly.
Buckeye, if you release those diss tracks on me,
Yeah.
that's the
No, I
rumor.
don't have no diss tracks. I don't have no screenshots. I don't have no receipts. I
He
don't
don't
have
have
any of
diss
this
tracks.
stuff.
He has horse tracks. All
Right.
right. All right,
I got boot
guys. I love
tracks.
y'all. I'm sorry.
Love y'all.
Maybe we'll jump on. Maybe I'll jump on midweek, guys. Middle of the week, maybe. And
Yeah,
maybe
that'll work
I'll
for
get
me.
with
Just
Buckeye and we'll get us the schedule worked out. Definitely
let me
Sundays
know.
from now on.
Yeah.
Y'all look at this right here. Look how beautiful it is out here. Hold on. Hold on. Blue skies smiling
Oh
at
yeah.
me.
It's doing that. It's doing that right now. It was cloudy when I first got here, but it's sunny and
Yeah.
here. Let
I'm sorry. I just haven't seen the sun in a while. It's been raining for the past week.
Here you go.
All right. I love y'all. Oh yeah, look at that. Wow, that's pretty.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna come up there and make you mad and catch all your fish.
Hey, go ahead. I'll let you do it. I'll let you use my fishing poles, my bait, and let you reel them in. I'll even net it for you.
Sounds like a plan. Say goodbye, Bubba.
All right.
right.
Love.
Bye. Love you too, bro.
Bye.
I love all you guys. Holler at us.